Good morning, everybody watching us on Facebook and YouTube. Kevin Fairbanks with Rank Foundry, a digital marketing agency in Syracuse, New York, where we help businesses show up in Google where it matters. Coming back at you with another live video answering your questions related to digital marketing, websites, search engine optimization, Facebook ads, you name it. So let me open up the comments. Morning, Geppetta. Great to have you with us. So it's, as I've done with the last few days, if we want to just go through some audits, happy to go through some audits. Good morning, Kurt. It's great to see some familiar faces coming back day after day to join us for these sessions. Apologize about the light behind my head. No, I don't have a halo. I just forgot to turn off that light. So let's share my screen and dig in. Let's see. All right. So since Kurt and Geppetta have been here before and know the routine, one of you give me a city and the other give me a industry. And we will see what we can find today. All right, so window cleaning companies in Cleveland, Ohio. That's where we're going to target today. And as you can see, it's deemed as a local search result because we are getting the map pack. Now this one has an ad in the map pack as well as 3 business listings. So this one marked with an ad, they paid to be in that location. The other 3 are in the top spot coming up. In addition, Google's returning a jobs rich snippet for that area. It's not often you see the jobs one pop up. So I bet you see an announcement this week where they're making it more prevalent with COVID-19 that this is another feature. If you guys missed the live I did yesterday afternoon, the features that we found in the live we did at 9 o'clock yesterday morning, as we were looking at restaurants, I noticed a couple things that were popping up on the businesses that I said, oh, I hope that stays. Well, in the afternoon, Google put out an announcement saying that those were some new features. And I did a live yesterday afternoon discussing that and a couple other ways that restaurants and businesses in the food industry can, take advantage of those features with Google My Business to help let their customers know what's going on. So we're going to check out fish window cleaning. Interesting name. Hoping it's somebody's last name and not that they clean fish windows. But let's get their profile to come up here. The hamsters are working overtime today. Whenever I stream online, it slows down the internet connection. There we go. All right, so they have 5 Google reviews, averaging a 4-star. So that means some people weren't totally satisfied with the service. It's interesting. I get manage this listing. I don't work there. They're not a client of mine. So that's something new. And that may be something that they're changing instead of claim this business. Maybe that somebody's claimed it and hasn't responded to anything in a while. So they're looking for somebody to manage the business. So They're not responding to reviews. They did respond to this 5-star review about a month ago, but this 4-star from 2 years ago, they didn't respond. Here's another one from a month ago that was 5 stars. They didn't respond. So they're not consistent in their responding. They did a very, very, very short description. They could take advantage of that description field and be able to highlight more of the keywords that people would be searching for. So the services that they offer. I don't see any posts from them. I do see that they put up some pictures. Hopefully they geo-encoded them so that it's relevant to, the Cleveland area. Let's take a look at their website. Sorry, I saw a bunch of other people pop in here. Vic's joining us this morning. Morning, Vic. I will get with you this afternoon on the questions you sent over to me. And Kurt's asking, are the job section helping organic business listings? I don't believe so, Kurt. I didn't look down to see if they trimmed. So let's go back to that search listing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like they may have trimmed one off of, unless I missed one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did they put one above it or above the map pack? Yeah, so there's 9 results coming in instead of typically 10, what we see on the first page. So they may have trimmed one of them to accommodate that job section, but I don't think it'll have that much impact on organic. Hurting, not helping. I don't think so. I don't think it's hurting it at all. I think this is just, Google putting another feature in place to try and adapt for the current times that we're living in. There still are a lot of businesses out there that are hiring. I know Indeed's doing a big push as well. Now they're sending out, multiple emails saying, businesses hiring in your area. So it's just pushing to get jobs for people who need them. There's a lot of unemployed people. It's probably one of the highest times that we've seen for an unemployment rate in a long, long time. So they're just trying to, accommodate everybody. So this tells you they are updating their website on a regular basis because they have a message in here related to the COVID-19 pandemic. So, your safety is important to us to learn about the necessary precautions we're taking in response. So let's see what they say. So they're just going through the procedures of what they want. It looks like this fish window cleaning is a franchise. So that explains why some of the stuff is done for them. Some of the stuff is managed for them through probably a relationship that a digital marketing agency has made with the franchisor. Or they have a team in-house that handles a lot of that information. That's why this is updated on the website. There's a lot of content on here. I'm not going to waste my time evaluating that one because typically they're working with another agency to do those type of works, do the digital marketing. Let's check out awesome window cleaning and more. I don't think I have too many applications open. Come on. right, there we go. So let's see. Awesome window cleaning and more. And the first picture I see, the focus picture, is leaves coming down into a gutter. So that must be part of the more. So my suggestion would be them is to make sure that the focus picture is window cleaning. Be interesting to see the additional categories to make sure, since they're offering more, if they listed themselves in more than just window cleaning service. So good morning, Kelly. Thank you for joining us today. So let's see what else we've got. So they have 8 reviews, average 4 stars. Looks like everything was 5 stars except for a couple of 1-star reviews. They haven't responded to the 1-star reviews, and as you can see, Google's highlighting them and pushing those right up to the top. So looks like they have 3 1-star reviews. 1, 2, nope, just 2. I don't know why it jumped on me when I was scrolling. Then they got a 5-star here. Again, no response from the business owner. Google will help promote their businesses if they are engaging with their customers. So, it's ideal for the business owner to get in there and respond to every review. If it's a negative review and you're a little heated on the review that was left, take a walk, cool yourself down, get your thoughts on what you want to say and how you want to say it before you respond, because that response is going to influence at least the next 10 people who read it on whether or not they want to do business with you. So don't jump in there, rip them apart or anything else. Take your time to make sure your messaging is right. So their website's taking a while to load. They don't have, wow. So interesting setup they have here. Not the way that I would have done a slider with a moving image in the background. Looks like somebody had a little bit of fun with some bells and whistles. Kind of reminds me of the days back in the mid 90s when people were setting up their first couple of websites on like GeoCities and a few other things with, all these dancing icons and everything else. So the website feels outdated to me. So, this blue on the black is very difficult to read. And then, as you hover over it, it becomes red. Not sure on why, I guess their name's in red up here too. So they're trying to tie the colors in, but everything else is blue. It's got a copyright of 2013 through 2020, but the site looks like it was built back in 2013 and never really updated. It's not running a security certificate. I'm going to run that one through GT Metrics and see. Again, if you weren't on the lives that we did the last couple of days, GT Metrics is a free tool available that allows you to test how fast your website's loading. You typically want your website to load in 3 seconds or less, because people aren't going to wait around for it to load to be able to see what you got on them. So that's going to take a minute to run. Again, if you use the free side of GT Metrics, they put you into a queue. So when they get busy, there's a lot of people using it. They got links to their Facebook profile, links to Pinterest, links to their Google Maps. The phone number's not clickable, but I'm also not on a mobile device. Maybe they have it set to only click on a mobile device. They could use a little more content, a little more focused content on the homepage. But I like that they, it's got their services right front and center. So that's still running. Well, that's running. Let's pull up another area. Let's look. Let's do pizza in Tampa. Of course, we get an ad from Domino's. Eddie's and Sam's, they're taking advantage of the dine-in, takeout, delivery feature that we talked about yesterday. I haven't seen anybody use the temporarily closed yet. So let's look. So I want to look in one specific area. I don't think it was New York. There was another company I was looking for that is in this area. It was down there a little over a month ago. And come on. Man, this thing is running really slow this morning. So, but, we'll take New York. I know that they're in that same area. Yeah, seeing that managed listing again here, and that was not there yesterday on these profiles. Google's busy making a lot of changes to the Google My Business profiles to help accommodate for the pandemic that we're all living through right now. So they've got a wide range of reviews. They pretty much have a review left in every star rating. 638 reviews. You would expect to see a diversity of reviews. If they were all 5-star, I would be calling some BS on it, and that nobody can be perfect 100% of the time. So to get 640 reviews and be at an average of 4.2, I say they're doing all right. I'd like to see that a little bit higher, like a 4.8, 4.7, but 4.2 is not bad. It looks like they got some people issues. Food's all right. People and service is the worst. So again, they're not responding to any of the reviews. It's critical for businesses to be engaging with the people who are leaving reviews on their profile. I apologize that all went blurry, at least on my side. Why is that not? So that test did come back, but for some reason, let me flip this back and see if we can get that to focus. Not sure why. Let's remove it. All right, stop sharing. Share my screen. There we go. Now it should not be blurry anymore. Yeah, I have to agree with you, Josiah. It's been an interesting morning with Facebook today. I was seeing it here on my screen, though, so I think it might be just the internet in general. As more and more people are working from home, you're seeing an increase in internet usage, especially for those who are on like a cable connection, because your connectivity is shared with everybody else in your neighborhood, riding back on that line, going back to the central office or the cable head end. I have Fios from Verizon, so it's fiber optic. But once it hits the central office, it's then a shared connection out with everybody else. And then, all of these sites and everything, you get a lot more video streaming with services like Zoom and everything else being heavily used with people working from home and having to have virtual meetings. And so, anyways, that window cleaning in Cleveland, Ohio, looks like, the site loads under 3 seconds. That's great, but they're failing on a page speed score and the why slow score. For those of you that haven't joined us and haven't heard my explanation, these are a letter grade system based on, the same type grades we used to get when we were all in school. So obviously, you want A's and B's. You don't want C's and D's or even F's. I prefer to see 90% and above for both of these, but I'm happy if I see 85% and above. So and a lot of this is technical issues on your site that can be fixed. Serving stuff from a consistent URL. So they've got a mix of the way that they're serving up files on there. They got some coding practices that need to be cleaned up. This is usually a big one that just about every site's got issues with, is optimizing the images. Making sure that the images are compressed and at a decent size to be able to pass through. So, they could leverage some browser caching so they can set stuff to cache that's static, that doesn't really update that often, and set some expiration times on it. That would help improve things. Making use of a CDN would help improve some stuff. It looks like they got a few other issues going on too. Some of the things on the why slow score might be out of the hands of the actual website owner, and they're related to the hosting setup. But I can tell you, if your host isn't willing to fix some of those things, find a different host. There's plenty of them out there. So we've got a bunch of people watching us live, and I'd love to hear any questions that you may have related to SEO, related to websites, related to digital marketing. Or I can continue to do audits of random businesses. You guys tell me, what do you want? Yeah, I agree with you, Kurt. Random audits are cool. So, let's see. I'm trying to find an obscure location where there probably is not a lot of Mexican restaurants. Find 3, all near each other. Glad that I'm able to help you out, Kurt, and that you're learning a lot. That's the purpose of this, is to answer people's questions and be able to teach other business owners, or people who are studying digital marketing like yourself, that the ability on what to look for, how they can improve their own presence or their customers' presence. So, trying to find somebody that's taken advantage of the temporarily closed. I'm not sure many have, since it just came out. Morning, John. So I will tell everybody who is watching this right now, John is your point of contact if you want to do any marketing on any movie screen in any movie house. Granted, people aren't going to the movies right now. A lot of them are closed, but he will work with you even when you don't think you have the money in your budget to be able to advertise. He will find some vendor, some organization that you're doing business with that has a co-op available to help pay for that advertising. So I highly advise you reach out to John on Facebook. Here, I'll throw up his comment again so you can see his name and his photo. In addition, the guy's got tons of knowledge. Let's see, he just threw up another comment. Can still reach them digitally. Absolutely, John. John, if you want, throw your contact information in one of the comments so people can reach out to you. He's got a great bit of knowledge when it comes to movies. He's a movie buff. And I have seen him with a group locally here that recreates Ghostbusters. They bring out Echo One and they come out all dressed up in their gear, and it's just absolutely hilariously. No problems, John. Happy to give you a shout out. It's a great market for businesses to advertise. So, there's John's email address. Feel free to reach out to him. Start the dialogue now. Get the conversation going with him so he can start looking for co-ops and options to help, pay for some of this advertising that his business can offer you. And, they're not just here locally. He works for an outfit that is, oops, I guess there's a typo in the phone number. So you're going to randomly call somebody else with the other number. So, they work, nationwide with different movie houses. They have some digital offerings, all kinds of different advertising opportunities. I'm not seeing anybody using temporarily closed. I was really hoping to see a business that has already, in the food industry that has already implemented that. There's an interesting fact right there. $6.6 million go unused in those co-op funds in that market every year. So let him help you find the money to pay for your advertising. If there's a pool of 6.6 million that's not getting used, that means there's some serious money there to do some advertising. So I might have to give him a call to see. I don't know if there's anybody I work with that would have co-op money, but you never know. Definitely, it's a game changer. I think, I'll be pushing it more with my clients. I didn't realize there was that much money that went unused in co-op funds. That's interesting. This one's using, they mark that they don't do they don't do delivery. They're only open for takeout. So let's see. Look locally again. There's one with a temporarily closed. So this is the feature I was talking about. That the Gem Diner here locally is marked temporarily closed. The Market Diner marked temporarily closed. It's businesses should be taking advantage of these new features. It'll let customers know that they're not open, but they're not closed forever. So nice. Kelly found one. AMF Strike and Spare Lanes is marked temporarily closed. So that's also here locally in Syracuse. John says table hopping has several ads that list businesses as temporarily closed. So John, are they running those in digitally, or are they running those in their print products? So this one kind of shocks me. Since most of the restaurants around here are now delivering through like DoorDash and Uber Eats and Grubhub and all those, Denny's had adopted that a while ago, but I was shocked how early they decided to close all of their restaurants. I mean, I understand they're taking the approach for their employees to stay safe, but they were ones who, adopted into that delivery service early on nationwide, and they've opted to close all of their restaurants. So John saying print, haven't looked digitally yet. That's interesting. So I don't know if that's just because the businesses had already prepaid in advance for a certain number of ads for the year, or if they ran a promotion for the businesses to continue to advertise. Because one of the smartest things business owners can do right now is continue to advertise. Stopping your advertising stops keeping your business in the front of mind or top of mind of your potential customers. Being out there, they're going to remember you. They're going to see your ads. They're going to see how you were helping them through all of this if you remained open. I use one case in point when the first mandate came down in New York State for gyms and class type programs to close. There was that day 2 different gyms I saw announcements from. One is a gym that I belong to, and the other is a gym that I've followed and had multiple conversations with the owner on LinkedIn over the last few years. So John has a comment. It also shows the community your business is robust and healthy. Absolutely. So the one gym, Metro Fitness, was releasing a digital product anyways that was going to offer some classes online. They sped it up and they put it out and they say, hey, look, we're here. Granted, you can't come to our gym, but you can still train at home and we're going to show you how, right? Great approach. They're keeping their members engaged, wanting to pay that membership to be a part of that. Another gym I belong to, literally the announcement came out, they closed their doors. And they're probably not going to reopen because they have no funds coming in. So they sent an email to all of the members that said, hey, sorry, due to New York State's, regulations, we had to close our facility. They didn't even opt to offer classes online, offer training programs online, do anything to keep members engaged. They just said that, they were not going to be open right now. They were not going to bill anybody during this time period, and anybody who prepaid would get that added to their membership time at the end of when they can reopen. And, as a business owner, they have a lease on their building for the space that they're in. So rent that they're got to pay, lease on their equipment, because I'm sure they don't own all the equipment in there. They recently went through some remodeling, so I'm sure they have some construction loans and other things related to that remodeling. They got overhead that they're paying out of pocket while no revenue is coming in. So I think that they could have done a better job at finding a way to at least keep some people engaged and some money coming in than just choosing to cut everything off. And you see that approach taken by some businesses who thought this was going to be a week thing. This is only going to last a week. I'm going to take a little vacation. It's not just a week. Here we're a few weeks into it now, and they're talking about a few more. So, it's imperative for businesses to survive that they continue to find a way to have revenue coming in, thinking outside of the box. I have literally this week talked to several business owners who I've talked to in the past who didn't see the value in marketing their business online, didn't see the value in having a website, didn't see the value in doing SEO if they did have a website. They're like, oh, no, I don't need to do that. My customers all come to my brick and mortar. They find me. 6 months ago, a year ago, they weren't ready to buy this. Now they're calling me begging for my services to be able to help them build a website, market their business online, get people finding them, be able to bring some revenue in. And it's like, we live in different times. If they would have adapted to this 6 months, a year ago, their business would still be going strong. They might see a little bit of an impact, but they could still find some way to continue to make money. So it's definitely interesting times that we live in. And I throw that out there. If anybody has it's wants to consult on how we can help their business, this is free. Go book a time, get on my calendar. Let's just sit down as business owner and talk about how we can assess where you're at, where you want to be, and how we can get you there. How can you navigate through all of this craziness and still keep your business afloat? So it's I'm happy to talk with anybody and discuss it, or if you have an individual situation, you want an evaluation of your specific online presence. You want me to look at your Google My Business profile, your website, your Facebook profile, your LinkedIn profile, whatever it be, and evaluate it and tell you areas you can improve. And all of my like recommendations and tips, I either record in a video so you have them and give you the opportunity to take care of it yourself, or if it's something that you're not comfortable with or don't have the time to do it, we can offer you a quote to be able to help you out. But I'm here to help drive businesses to stay open and deliver what value I can to help get them to that position. So it looks like John threw another comment in here. Absolutely should have gone to the well before they were thirsty. Yeah, and unfortunately, some marketers out there are jacking up their rates and price gouging, taking advantage of the situation. That is not what we're doing here. I've actually worked with people and gotten creative with our pricing to make it even more affordable, because I understand that everybody's under a financial impact right now. Those businesses who didn't prepare for any of this, which is a majority of the businesses out there, majority of the people out there. If you talk to any financial advisor, they always tell you to keep like 3 to 6 months worth of, your expenses in a savings account. How many Americans actually do that? Not many. They all live paycheck to paycheck. Not many of them are prepared for an impact like this financially, because nobody thought it would ever happen. Not here. No, that don't happen. That happens elsewhere, right? That was the approach people took. And now it's a wake-up call, While, yes, this is a sad situation, it's a tough spot for all of us to be in. I think it's probably one of the best things that could have happened to America in a while. I think you're going to see more manufacturing come back to America. You're going to see more business, people buying local, people, taking us back. So, Kurt, you got 3% and some question marks. Not following you. So it's, you're gonna see the way that our economy has gone change. You're going to see people rethink how they're doing things, how they're buying, who they're purchasing from. For years in this country, we looked the other way and sent all of our manufacturing to China because it was cheaper. Yet, 3% who were prepared. Yeah, absolutely. I think that number is actually a little bit high. I would say a little bit lower than 3%, but it's it's ridiculous. But for years we looked the other way. We fought to clean up our work environments, take children out of the workplace, make sure that the places were safe, and that that these were great places for people to go to work and not have poor health standards and poor working conditions and everything else. Then we turn around, we started buying things from third world countries that quickly grew out of being third world countries, and overlooked the fact that they have children working in their factory, that it's the same unsanitary, unhealthy conditions, that we fought years here, and we sent it all over there because making those changes here drove the prices up. And it just, I don't know. This wasn't what these videos were for, but it's just crazy. Different times we live in. You're hearing more and more stories of families now eating dinner together again. They're putting away the cell phones. They're playing board games. They're doing things as a family because they're forced to. That's the way at one time it used to be in this country. So, but no, this is about a Q&A session for digital marketing and websites and search engine optimization, Facebook ads, Google ads, whatever it be. So we've been going at it now for a little over 40 minutes. So let me hear from you guys. What questions do you have? All right, let me see. We're going to go back to an audit here while I'm waiting for a question to come in. I don't want to, I'm going to pick a different location only because I know some of these businesses. And not so much that I know the businesses, I know who does their marketing. And I don't want to like publicly call them out and make it look like I'm just going after their clients. No, I don't want old diners. Interesting that Dallas, PA came up before Dallas, Texas. Lucky's Cafe. Let's see how lucky they are. Well, apparently they're pretty popular because they have over 1,100 reviews, an average of 4.5. So, Retro Diner in Dallas, Texas. They offer delivery from Grubhub. They're not open for dine in. I don't think many places are. They've got multiple order platforms on here now. Um, that's something new too. I don't know when Google implemented that, but I noticed it the last couple of days as well that some restaurants are having multiple order platforms. I don't see a Q&A section. See pictures of the diner, a couple pictures of their food. I'd love to see more pictures of their food because that's what's going to sell to people. I don't see any comments on the top 3 reviews there. Would like to see them engage a little bit more. I don't even see a description from the business. So they haven't even filled in the description box. This is a business that might think that they don't need to because, they're a pretty popular place. But it's times like these now that, um, they could go through it and take the times while it's a little bit slower and clean up some of their online presence to, better optimize it for them. I'd have to imagine this is the type of place that has pretty long line come, a Saturday or a Sunday trying to get people in there during normal times. So let's take a look at their website. Wow. So I guess their color choices are based on the neon lights they have with their sign. Um, Not sure I'd go with that, but they do have it highlighted at the top that they're open for curbside carry out and delivery only. So that's good. They're making good choices, putting food front and center on their website, draw people into what they do. So, they don't have a lot of content. Um, Looks like they're corporately owned too. Interesting. I wouldn't have thought of a diner like that style diner, like the old, New Jersey car style diners being a franchise. Because you learn something new every day, right? Let's take a look at this one. Mama's Daughter's Diner. It's kind of the same trend over and over again. They're not responding to reviews, don't have a description. Could use more photos of their food, less photos of their building. I understand putting the outside of the building so that people can see what they're looking for. They got pretty decent number of reviews, so they should be responding to them. They're only open for takeout, but meanwhile it says delivery through Grubhub. So that's kind of inaccurate if Grubhub's doing delivery for them and they don't have delivery checked on here. So because if somebody's just scrolling through here real quick and they don't see delivery checked, they may not want to order from there. But meanwhile, they're available to order on Grubhub. So that's something that they'd want to fix. Their website literally is a PDF. So the link here, oh, that was to the menu. Um, I was thinking I was clicking on the website link itself. Let's see if that opens up to a website or if it takes me to the menu PDF. All right. So, this must be a bulletin board that they have something unique inside their diner with, Mama said at the top. And, their statement now is to support them during COVID-19. All right. So I'm giving them support. If anybody knows who owns Mama's Daughter's Diner in Dallas, Texas, point them out to this video where they need to fix this delivery option. So it looks like they have multiple locations too. So, um, and I get why they created their website like this. As a website designer, I'm not a fan of it. Um, they don't have enough content on here, but you know, their type of business has probably been there for a long, long time. Yeah, since 1958. So people know that's the go-to spot. So it's kind of tough sometimes talking with business owners that have been around that long because they're like, well, it's always worked. We're just open. So they weren't there when the business was built to, go through those trying times of building up those clients. So, so it's tough as a digital marketer sometimes to talk with, third generation business owners um, who are under the impression the business has always been there and will always be there. So let's see. And randomly picking an eyeglasses in Cleveland, Ohio. Some interesting photos that came up. An older gentleman wearing glasses, a brick building with a green door, and then a map. So, this is where I was pointing out what pictures people should make as their featured image, because this is what people are going to see when they're scrolling through here. So this is your opportunity, especially for a restaurant. That should be a food picture, not the outside of your building, so that you can entice somebody why they want to click on your profile. So I'm not sure why that one didn't come up. It populated the map, but there we go. So this one, we've got the own this business. So they haven't never claimed it to be able to optimize it. So I can already tell you they're probably not responding to reviews. Somebody posted a picture. It's probably a user submitted photo of glasses they got there. The Google car drove by and took a picture of the outside of the building. 40 reviews, 39 reviews, average 4.5. No responses to the reviews because they haven't even claimed the listing to be able to respond to them. So that's definitely, a business that needs help. Kurt, are you targeting Cleveland, Ohio, or did you just randomly give me that city? So here's another one, Cleveland Optical. Yet I see pictures of their equipment, pictures of their waiting area, a picture from the Google car driving outside, and another picture that they took of the outside. I don't see any pictures of the actual product. So they received 7 reviews, all of them being 5-star. I mean, are they really that good, or are they asking people to leave them reviews? So they're not responding to any of the reviews. No questions and answers. No, they do have a description from the business. Doesn't really say what they do, just says what they accept for payment. So definitely some areas in there that they could improve on. So see if that other site ever loaded. Yeah, so the other site loaded, and they've got some decent brands they work with. They've got images that they could use on their Google My Business profile to represent the products they sell. Here again is another one. They've been around 21 years, since 1946. 21-year-old opened it, went through it. Family owned and operated for 72 years. So they're just under the impression that they don't need to have their Google My Business profile or do digital stuff, but because they've always just hung out their sign and gotten business to come in. So they at least have a website, So this one I know is probably got no pictures. It's just got the map. Yep, hasn't even been claimed. America's Best temporarily closed. So they are allowing temporarily closed in other industries besides food. This one has hours that were pulled in from somewhere. Maybe they edited it because it doesn't say claim this listing, but no pictures. You get the Google car drive by. They got some reviews, but no responses. No description from the business owner. It's like buying a brand new car, putting it in your driveway, and never driving it anywhere. So I don't know. I don't understand some businesses that don't take advantage of these free opportunities. You know, it doesn't cost them anything to optimize this profile, create it, set it up, and make it work for them. So, and look, it's not that competitive of a market to get your profile to show up, because here's one with no images showing up in the third spot. So definitely, areas for businesses to improve. So we're coming up on an hour now of recording this session today, and I unfortunately have to go and get on the phone with a bunch of business owners who need help, need to have their stuff evaluated, need to talk about getting them through these tough times and coming up with options to help guide them. So, if you'd like that for your business, or you'd like me to audit your business in particularly and see, how we can help you, give you tips and advice for areas to improve, just go to the link that's on the screen, theseotech.com/book-with-me, and get on my calendar, and we'll set up a time that, we can evaluate what's going on and where you can improve things right now to help keep your business going. So with that, I wish everybody a happy day. I will be back here again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. You're welcome, John. Absolutely happy to sit down and talk with you. If you don't mind, head up that link and just find a time that works for you. That's probably the easiest way to get on my calendar right now, because it's crazy. So anything you guys need, please feel free to reach out to me. If you're connected with me on Facebook, on LinkedIn, if you're watching this on YouTube, because we stream this live daily to Facebook and YouTube. If you're not connected with our YouTube channel, now would be a great time. We have underutilized that YouTube channel. It's been there for a couple of years, and we haven't really put videos. We use it a lot for our video audits that we send out to people that go unlisted, so they're not public. But if you want to head over to YouTube, search for Rank Foundry, and subscribe to our channel, we'd love it. So, alrighty, business owners, have a wonderful day. And like I said, we'll see you here tomorrow at 9 a.m. for another live Q&A session.